So here it is, the final installment. It's all finally finished. Been out on the road, done a few 100 miles on it. Really happy with the way it's turned out. Only one or two little small niggles on it when we put it on the road. First of all was the fuel system, which was a bit of a new thing for us. We found that the fuel pressure was running too high and it was running a bit too rich. We thought we needed to get a dynoed, and in fact all it was good old Haynes manual had quoted the wrong fuel pressure for it. They'd said 4 bar and it's actually 2 bar. So it was running really rich and fouling the plugs up. So put it back to 2 bar and everything's hunky-dory. It's running really nice. In fact, I'm surprised how smooth it is lower down, and it's got a lot more power top end as well. So really, apart from that, we've done one or two little things from the last video. We fitted a Motor Gadget Speedo on now. That's all been working. Now I started using it on the road. I've put a mirror on because crazy car drivers are going to take me out otherwise. And apart from that, it's basically as we set it up. I must say I'm very impressed with these tyres, these Heidenhaus. It's the first time we've used these tyres on a build, and I had a feeling they were going to be a bit too lumpy for road use. I've had it up to 110 miles an hour, no problem with weaving or particular road noise at all. And the grip, like a sports bike tyre, I've actually had the pegs down both sides on it, and they really give you lots of confidence. I'll definitely be using those again in future builds, and the price isn't too bad on them either. I did put a steering damper on because I was expecting a bit of a wobble on with them, but up to now I've only got it about middle setting and it feels absolutely fine on the road. Brakes are really good. As I've said previously, we use a 6-pot caliper on the front, and you can really stand it on its nose. This video has been a bit delayed because 2 weeks ago we took delivery of a street twin, and we were wanting to do some development work on that first. So that sort of pushed this to the back of the queue, saying this is my own bike. But like I say, since we got it on the road, I haven't been off it. I've even been riding it out in the rain and the muck, cross fields, round town. It really performs fantastic right across the board. And the seat's not too uncomfortable either. I thought maybe 50-60 miles would be cutting you in two. I've been for about 150 miles on it, really comfy. So it's my favourite bike at the moment. This is the one that's getting used a lot. As I said in the previous videos, we built it as a bit of a showcase of the parts that we do. First of all the tech bike parts that we've put on. First of all, our ever popular Tracker 2-into-1 system. Like I said, we did design this bike to put a high level system on it, but they're not ready yet. They're going to be about another month because we've been moving to a new factory for the exhaust. So that's held things up about a month. But about a month's time we'll have those, and we'll put one on this bike because it has been designed with the short panels to take the high level pipe. Whether or not it'll suit it, because I really like the Tracker on it. I think it looks right for the style of the bike. We have put, like I mentioned, we've put a steering damper on, tech steering damper. We've put tech fork upgrade kit in it, which consists of progressive springs and the adjustable fork tops on it. We've got an alloy sump guard on the bottom, which again goes with the style of the bike, and it's pretty much a necessity with not having the front mud guard, and stops all the crud being thrown up off the front wheel into the bottom of the motor and onto the starter motor. Alloy rear sets, these have worked out really well in this position. I thought I may have to play around with the adjustment. Great out of the box. I really love those, absolutely spot on. And I do prefer the non-folding foot peg type, but that's just my personal preference. We've put our sprocket cover on. Again, that makes it a bit more exposed. It makes the bike look lighter. And we've put our alloy carb tops to take away that tinny look on the top of the carbs. Our rear gas shock absorbers, we've put the fully adjustable type on. We also do them with the adjustable damping, which are a bit cheaper. And we've put a Monza gas cap conversion on. We did try it with the alloy gas cap that we do originally, but I think this looks a little bit more race, and I think it suits the style of the bike. Again, it's a personal preference thing. These are a little bit more expensive at £70, or we do the alloy turned one at the $29.99 off the top of my head is the right price. On the other side, we have a clutch cover kit, which tidies things up a little bit here. And we've got air injection blanking plugs, which stop the popping and banging on the overrun. They're a good little mod for about £11 for a pair of stainless ones of those. We've fitted one of our prototype ignition switch relocator brackets on. We're now making these in alloy and they'll be ready in about a month's time. And we've got our short fiberglass side panels. Again, we designed these to work with a high level exhaust, but they actually look really trick on the bike and they give you a lot of open space, so it makes the bike look a lot lighter. It also makes the bike look leaner and longer. It takes the slabby look of the side of the bike away. And we've back on the other side again. I think that'll be about it. We've got our 19-tooth gearbox sprocket. Again, that just stops the bike revving a little bit too much at high revs. And that's about it for tech bike parts on the bike. We have other parts. There's not many parts from other manufacturers on. The seat unit, we were going to make an alloy seat unit, an alloy tank, but I'm still not up to speed with that TIG welding aluminium yet. It's not pretty as I would like it to be, so I'm learning a bit on the aluminium fabrication. So until I get that absolutely perfect, we'll leave the fiberglass one on the standard tank. But I will be making a small alloy tank, an alloy seat unit for it. But like these things, they always evolve. Things do change over time. And that's part of the beauty of a custom. They're never finished, really. On the front end, we have a Motor Gadget Speedo, which it looks like you've got no Speedo on. They're absolutely fabulous. And what I do like about it is it adjusts from night to dark. So when you go out in bright sunlight, it actually automatically gets a little bit brighter. And then riding at night, it doesn't blind you. So that's a really nice little trick thing. It saves a lot of weight as well over the standard clocks. Other people's parts that we've put on the bike, obviously we've put Brembo and Rizoma parts on the front end here. Brembo lever set, and we've put a set of just generic fat bars and clamps on. And apart from the Heidenhout tyres, we haven't really put much else on the bike that's not ours. These are fork top adjusters. Here they are in gold. Mostly we just supplied black. Most people don't seem to like gold, but I do. I think it just adds a bit of bling to the bike. If you want gold, we do them, just request them. Indicators, again, these are just eBay purchased items. They're just little bar end LED indicators, about £20 a pair. What we did do with the bike is I like to do everything in-house. So virtually nothing was put out. Other than the manufacture of the seat, we did everything, including welding, electrics, plumbing, paintwork. Everything was done by us. I think that's the whole point of a custom build. If you just form your paintwork, then your electrics out to other people, you'll never learn. This is how I learned, because I couldn't afford to get other people to do the work. I had to do it myself. So necessity is the mother of invention, and I think it's a good idea to at least have a try to do something. Even if you do it badly, you'll learn by your mistakes. I've been asked quite a bit on messages that how much it costs to build the bike. I'm going to be quite open about it because the bike's not for sale. So the donor bike was £3,000, and you can pick Bonnevilles up, the earlier ones, especially the carburetor ones, for that sort of money. And they're pretty good value for money. I think now the Street Twins come out, it might drive the price down a little bit, so all things are good there. We took a lot of the bits off the bike and we've resold them, so we got some money back there. But the cost of all the parts that I mentioned before, all the tech bike parts, the exhaust, all the engine parts, the suspension modifications, steering damper, fuel cap, all that comes to less than £1,000 retail. So you're on breaking the bank there. The parts from other manufacturers, we've got this seat unit and number board, which came from Red Max Speed Shop. It's about £200, I think they were. We've got tyres, obviously, again, wear and tear items, which you would probably want to replace anyway, about £160 a set. Chain and sprockets, again, you can't really take that into account because they're a wear and tear item and you want to change them on an old bike anyway. Apart from that, there's only the things like levers and bars that come from other sources. Everything else has been either modified off the original bike as a tech bike part, or we've just made it from scratch out of pieces of aluminium or whatever. The beauty of it is the bits that we have sold up to now, we've got about £600 back for on eBay, and we've still got the tank, side panels, exhaust system and clocks, plus bits and pieces like switchgear to sell. So we'll probably get another £300–400. So the bike is almost self-financing. I would say it's probably about £600 that we've had to fork out to build the bike. So £3,600 and a lot of hard work gets you a bike like this. I have been offered £8 for it, and I've refused it because it's my bike and I want to use it. But that gives you the idea how sort of viable it is to build a bike like this. A lot of the fact that we save money is the fact that we've done everything ourselves, done all the welding on the tubes, did all the welding on the modifications at the back, did all the wiring modifications, fuel system modifications, all the paint work. We've done everything. We haven't relied on anybody else, and that is one of the hardest parts of doing a custom build, is relying on other people to do the work for you. Particularly painters, my experience is they always let you down. They quote you 2 weeks, take 6 weeks, and then paint it wrong. But that's just my personal experience of the fact. Again, with electrics, there's very few people out there who will do electrics, and the best way is to teach yourself how to do it. Read a few books, ask a few people how to do it, and get on in there and do it yourself. It isn't as hard. Don't be scared. Worst comes to the worst, you'll blow a couple of fuses, but have a go. So that's the end of the build on this bike. Thank you very much for watching us. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the build or what you'd like to do, just message us or call us. I'm sure we'll try and help you as best we can. Don't switch off just yet, because there's some still shots and videos of the bike in action, which I hope you enjoy. Good luck with your own builds, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I have enjoyed building this bike. Keep watching the channel, because we will do some more builds over next winter, and I hope you've really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. Bye.